Hey fam, welcome back to Tari's Lifestyle and Vlog, and thank you so much for stopping by. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to answer interview questions using the STAR approach, okay? That's what we're going to be talking about. But before I go on, if this is your first time of coming to my channel and you like videos like this, then please subscribe, turn on your bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my videos going forward. Okay, so I previously did a video on how to prepare for an interview. Okay, if you haven't seen that video, I'll put the link up here so you can have a look at that video yourself. And I've also done some other videos about how to get a job in the UK if you are an international student, or if you're just wanting a job, a new job, or a change of career, whatever it is. But today we're going a bit further. We're going to be talking about how to actually use the STAR approach to answer interview questions. Okay, I hope this video will be helpful to someone. Okay, because for instance, you've put in your application, you've been shortlisted, you've been called for an interview. The last thing you want to do is to go to that place and fail because you haven't answered the question properly. And the way you answer the questions during an interview is so important. And I know that in my previous video I talked about your verbal and non-verbal and communication, which is also very important. You want to make sure that you actually answer the questions that you've been asked. Okay, so when you're answering a question in an interview, what some people will do is they will go round and round and round and round, and really they don't answer the question. They don't say what the interviewer is looking for, okay? Because there are some certain words, certain things that the interviewer will be looking for. Sometimes people call it the industry buzzwords. And I said in my previous video that you have to do your research about the company, you have to do your research about the industry, okay? So when you're answering the question, it's important that you listen to the question and actually answer the questions that you have been asked, okay? And one of the ways that you can answer these questions, which helps a lot of times, is what we call the STAR approach, okay? And that simply means the situation, task, action, and the results, okay? So it's a simple way. It helps you to answer your questions in a very organized way. So basically what you want to do, if you've been asked a question, you want to give an example, okay, and then give an example of a situation that has occurred, which is the S. Okay, so this situation has occurred. What do you have to do? What task do you have to perform to maybe resolve that situation or solve the situation? Okay, so that is the T. Okay, so that's the task, the T. And the A is action. What did you actually do about that situation that actually occurred? And the R, which is for the result. So you're faced with this situation, you've decided the task you're going to do, you have actually carried out an action. What is the result? Okay, so that's simply what the STAR approach is. So I'll give an example. Say for instance, can you tell me about a time where you've acted as part of a team? Okay, so what you want to do, or the question might be asked in different ways. Or can you tell me about your team working skill? So however it's asked, you want to make sure that you use the STAR approach because it helps. You might decide not to, but for me, I find that when interviewees use the STAR approach, it actually helps, makes the interviewer know that, okay, this person actually understands the question that's been asked. Okay, so tell me about the time when you've actually acted as a team. So what you want to think about is a situation that occurred. Say for instance, there was a time where, let's assume I'm working in a call center, because I actually used that as an example when I did my interview a long time ago. So let's assume that a situation occurred. I work in the call center. I've gone into work on that day, and the customer called in because they were very angry. Why were they angry? A member of my colleague spoke to them yesterday, and the colleague was supposed to call them back, but the colleague hasn't called them back. Okay, so that's the situation at hand. This customer is very angry. I've received the call, so I've identified that there is a situation. What do I do? What's the task? Okay, so I talked to this person and said, okay, I'm really sorry that this didn't happen. Something happened yesterday, or maybe the colleague is not in today, or they haven't started work, but rest assured I can deal with your query. So that's me identifying the situation. Task, I've said, okay, you know what, I'm going to deal with the situation. What do I need to do? I take action, I take ownership of that call, whatever the situation is. Okay, I speak to the customer and say, okay, what is the problem? Tell me, I will help. and whatever it is that my colleague was supposed to do, I do it on that day, on that call for the customer. Okay, and at the end of the day, the customer is happy. The result that we get is the customer is happy, calls in to give a feedback and says, oh, Tari did an amazing job. She took over the call, took over responsibility of a call. My query was resolved. Okay, so that could have gone bad on my team, but I actually stepped in on behalf of my colleague that wasn't in work that day. There's so many examples that you can give. Another example is, okay, maybe a team was supposed to do something, and maybe it's your day off. You come into work on that day, which, well, that will be a lot. Okay, you come on your day off to help the team so that they can meet a target that they have. Okay, so there are many examples. So all you want to do is identify a situation and then decide what you actually want to do about that situation and also what the result is. Okay, so once you've been able to answer the question in that manner, there's a result, and then the interviewer will be happy that you've actually answered the question. There are some questions that you won't have to use the STAR approach, but when you could, then by all means I'll suggest that you use the STAR approach. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful to you. If you have an interview, if you're planning to attend an interview in the future, I hope it's helpful. If that's helped you, give it a thumbs up, share with your family, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.